Hey guys, what's going on? So today I'm going to go through what I get in a week from Aldi on a bulk. So to start off, I just want to show you guys the entire table here, what we got going on. And I will start with the meat. So I always buy 90%, 10% beef sirloin from Aldi because it is a very good meat, doesn't have very much fat in it, and it actually goes down in the stomach easier than some of the other kinds that you can get, like this 8515. I'll get the 8515 grass fed ground beef as well because sometimes you want a variety, you want to get in those calories a little bit easier. That's a way you can do it with less portions. So the next thing I want to cover here is the carbs that I'll be eating. All right, so we have Graintastic thin sliced bread. I like to use that for my toast in the morning and for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich that I'll have on a bulk. Along with that, I have 3 gallons of Fairlife. Fairlife, I believe, is one of the best milks that you can get out there. And then for my ground beef, I will put this teriyaki, about half of this in, half per 2 pounds of ground beef sirloin. And then I will also, with that, this is basically how it goes, guys. So I'll take one of these whole ground beefs, throw them in the pan. I'll throw 1 packet of taco seasoning, the less sodium one, and half of that in there. So the next thing on the list, I said peanut butter and jelly. So I always have some strawberry preserves, organic. I get those from Aldi, and I also will use a almond butter instead of regular butter because it is just overall better for you than typical peanut butter. But you can use regular peanut butter. It's just a preference of mine because I like to eat a little bit cleaner. So as far as another carb source, like going with your dinner and lunches, that ground beef is sweet potato or jasmine rice, but I got sweet potato this week. Great way to go. Let's go quick through here. So, organic cage-free eggs, best way to go. I eat a carton every 2 days, and then some regular just bacon. Great source of fat. Blueberries. So, the reason I have a handful of these a couple times a day is because it actually helps with antioxidants and it helps with your brain, makes you a little bit smarter, believe it or not. That's my science for you. And then some bananas, got to have that potassium, and some avocados that will go with the sweet potato and ground beef lunch and dinner because that provides you that sustainable energy source throughout the day. That's what avocado does, is good fats. One of the things I'll have after a really hard workout is some dried mangoes. I had this during the ultra marathon there with me, and it was just excellent. So that's the gist of everything. And now I will show you the preparation of my lunch and dinners here when I start that in a second. Tonight's meal prep is powered by First Form Energy. This is the mystery flavor, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit. I am pretty sure they're going to drop this in 2020. All right, guys, so on to the meal prep. So I've loaded my ground beef sirloin in there, and I got my taco seasoning and teriyaki sauce ready to go. So now I will set the oven to 8 or about mid to high. And then what I'll start doing, guys, is I actually just start dicing the ground sirloin. And I go both ways with it when I dice it. Once I'm done with that, it should look like this. Then you'll want to open and take your teriyaki sauce and pour half of that bottle into the ground beef sirloin. Maybe it's a little bit more than half that I usually do, but I don't know if you can see it, but that's about as much as I'll get in there. And this is warming up. The pan is warming up as I'm doing this. So now you'll take your taco seasoning with 25% less sodium from Aldi, and you'll pour that entire packet into the ground sirloin. Then as it's still warming up, I kind of mix this in. I start kind of using that dicing pattern I was doing before. to mix in the sauce and the taco seasoning. When you're done with that process, it's going to look kind of like that, all mixed in. You don't really see any more of the taco seasoning. It's all mixed. So while that's going, I'll come over here and I'll make sure I have some aluminum foil and all my sweet potatoes. And then I will get a shear out to skin the potatoes, is what I like to do. I skin them first. And I'm sure you've seen this before. So once your ground beef starts to look like this, you want to just start stirring this all together. So you start cooking the raw meat. And you'll do that a few more times and then it will come out. So we got our sweet potatoes sheared and our ground beef is done. So you want to turn that oven off, turn your fan off, and get yourself a little strainer and a bowl. This is how I always have done it, just to get all that grease out. So you just kind of pour that in there as nicely as you can without getting too much grease on the side or whatnot. That's why I put a paper towel under it. The sweet potatoes are done. It took us about 20 minutes in the air fryer, and I had to turn them over so the olive oil got on the other side. But these guys are all good, so now we can just pop these in each tray. So at the end of the day, you get a product that looks like this. This was just 2 packs of the ground sirloin and a whole package of sweet potato. Also add in an entire avocado to every single one of these meals. But here is the macros.